So as part of today's class, we'll review the assignment on the analytical techniques. At the same
Okay.
time, we will go over, given the time, the requirement traceability matrix, what exactly it is. And because since we need more time to do the business requirement document,
Mm-hmm.
then we
Okay.
will have a full class for the business requirement document, but today we'll try to finish up your requirement traceability metrics and the overview of this analysis which you have done. It
Okay.
is
Sure.
PES, PESTEL, TEL.
Yeah, but I saw in so many places it could be just pest also.
Yeah, because
So,
you are not considering the other two factor, then you can call it as a pest. That is the reason. If you don't
okay.
have any economical
No,
impact,
no. Economical will be in E here, right?
uh-huh.
That environmental is what the last E stands for, as far as I
No, no,
understand.
what I'm saying is
Mm-hmm.
whichever type of impact you don't have it, you can take it out.
Uh-huh. Okay,
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 that's what
okay,
I mean to say. So in this
okay.
case, if you don't have the end of the letters, then you can
Mm-hmm.
just ignore it and we can proceed with that. But let's
Because,
move on.
okay, okay, sure. All right, so let's start with the political. With a lot of deliberations and work together with a lot of hassles, the Affordable Care Act was passed in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and the main focus was to provide health insurance coverage to about roughly about 32 million people who otherwise would not have the health insurance coverage. And primary care was the main focus of this Affordable Health Care Act, where the premise was basically the primary care, if you health, if you can take care of it, the healthcare costs will come down, and you will not, you will, it is more like a preventive health care where you would, when you take care of primary health, the other issues will not come up as often as they do normally.
Okay.
And the federal law required that it, go into effect by January 2014. But even for that, there were a lot of issues, legal and political, to meet the implementation deadline was, a lot of difficulties came across in that process too. Plus, the political alignment in this country where everybody, some people say, okay, come and take care of me. Some people say, my is my business, none of government's business. So the two extremes have made it very difficult for the legislative deliberations and passing of the act. And, there are a lot of concerns about, the way it started and the way it passed finally is very different.
And how is that?
Although the basic premise remained the same, they had to make a lot of adjustments so that, they accommodate a wide spectrum of political opinions in this country.
Okay.
So that's how it was. Now, another premise was to the Centers for Medical and Medicaid Services would, give you the funding for the state-based marketplace. And there was a lot of competition and a lot of lobbying happening for uh, getting the money to establish the state-based marketplace in this country. So there also, the political issues came into the picture doing this also.
Okay.
Uh, Even federal funding to build the state marketplace, state, they have received, that is now something like this. See, federal funding has been given to states. Whether this should come into political or economic, I am not sure, because it has a political aspect as well as economic aspect. So
So
it's
then we
how you
need to
explain it.
So we need to look into both aspect, right? If we say economical, then we need to look at the statistical number that how economically it can impact. right? See, first thing you need to understand, this Affordable Care Act is already in place. So
Right now, yes, it is, yeah.
it is, but the consideration was that before we launch this act and enforce it, we need to understand what will be the pest analysis, right?
Okay.
What are the factors you need to consider before you launch this, right? So
Right.
considering that, how you will do it? So all these factors which you are analyzing it, the assumptions, the biggest assumption here is this Affordable Care Act is still not yet in the market. Before they launch, they are trying to analyze all these things, right? And you as a
Uh,
business analyst looking through all these different aspects to see what can impact bringing this law on board.
yeah, but see, if you are not a part of this process as yet, or if you are trying to integrate into this, then it is still a factor for you to consider, or no, all these factors.
If you are, can you repeat the last part of it?
If you are still trying to integrate, like just a few months, right? Suppose there is something, suppose there is an insurance company, or what do you call it, accountable care organization or something like that. They are still trying to integrate into the new healthcare place, the premise. They would still consider all these things as a factor, or no?
They will, right? They will.
Yeah.
They will, because end of the day, they are the ones who is going to be most impacted by it.
Yeah.
So see what happens, we have this ongoing user group meetings. Okay, user group meetings are where the CMS will reach out to all the parties, all the insurance companies, all the industrialists from the same area, from the healthcare perspective. And they are the ones contribute and support CMS. So from where CMS is getting all these information? They are getting who are using, who are associated with CMS, right?
Right.
So all these bodies are contributing, providing information. So the user group meeting is to discuss all these pieces of information.
Okay.
And based on that outcome, based on the feedback, they go and collect all together all these pieces of information. So that's why the point over here is that you are trying to do this analysis to assess the impact, that what happens when it is launched.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Now the state level interpretation and how the states will implement this can vary, but I didn't know what to put in here for, my input really, because it really varies state to state. And there were some things I found out, like, level 1, level 2 plan and level 1, level 2. That is, I still did not get a grip on that, so I might have to add something.
See, this is not a 1-page or 2-pager legislation. Okay, you can write.
No, it is not. Yeah.
Yeah, you can write just theses, pages and pages of the analytical impact on it. But the idea over here is that how much you are able to get a grip on this.
Yeah.
How much you are able to analyze it, and what is the analytical path you have taken. So the idea behind giving this assignment to anyone is that okay, how detailed you can go, how good analysis you can do, what are the areas you are identifying it. So that's what I am assessing, and wherever you are struggling, that's where I will help you. So when it comes, you not necessarily has to put down everything as part of this. That's not what I am looking for this from this
Okay, so
exercise.
right now I can tell you that from state to state, this will be, the law will be interpreted. The states have some kind of a freedom to interpret the law and have their own laws and combine it, so it can vary from one state to another.
Right, because if you go back in the history, you will see there was many of the states which were opposing this. Okay.
Right. Yes.
And there was a lawsuit filed against that, but still the law was passed because they won that case. So considering that, again, let's take a state to state variation perspective. I would say state of Texas have a different law as compared to state of New York, state of New Jersey. The reason why, they all have different state level mandates.
Yeah.
and they need to see that, okay, how the state level rules and regulations are going to work in parallel with this ACA.
Right, right.
At the same time, the way of enforcement is different. When I say the way of enforcement is different, in the sense, one state says that, okay, we are going to apply the penalty if someone is eligible to buy the insurance, but if they are not buying it. So when they will file for the income tax, they are going to get penalized 2% or 4% of taxes, right? On the other hand, another state says that, okay, I'm going to treat my people differently. I'm saying that no matter how much you earn, if you are buying an insurance, I'm going to, if you are below the average income level, I'm going to give you the rebate. I will give, you will get a tax rebate of 2%. So whatever insurance premium you are paying it, you are going to get it back.
Yeah, yeah.
See, all these things we discuss, we learn as part of the healthcare class. We have the special chapter where we discuss all about these mandates, Affordable Care Act, so all these things, what is happening, how the states are getting impacted. So we do a lot of learning on those aspects as well. But from the BA perspective, as you see, you did the research. It would have taken a lot of time. And more than that, it would have taken time for you how to structure the data.
Yeah.
And that was the thing what I wanted you to spend time on, so that you spend time with that struggle point. What is the struggle you will have when first time you will go on job?
Right, right.
So now you have done that exercise, so now you know what the real time challenge is.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to struggle on the first day of job with all these things, because now you already know what you struggle,
how to approach this,
right, and how to tackle the problem. And that is the exercise, that is the whole objective of this exercise.
Okay. Now this last one again here on this page, CMS guidance on implementation. I see. I don't know what is the current status on this, because there's a lot of issues regarding, you know, like what is covered under the female well visit, or, you know, whether the polyp. I mean, I saw some examples here and there, but what is the latest on this? I don't really know.
See, first of all, there are many more issues which are yet to resolve.
Yeah.
So if you know that there was a person hired to fix this exchange issue from Microsoft. So that person is taking lead on this, because just to meet the timeline, even though the exchange was launched in the market, but still the exchange is not fully ready with all the Affordable Care Act perspective, that what needs to be done, what is right, what is wrong. So there are cases where the enrollment is done and the coverage have started, but still there are many more information for the beneficiary is missing, which is not there from the payer perspective. So let's say if someone have bought an insurance from healthcare exchange marketplace through Aetna, but Aetna doesn't have the complete information for the beneficiary. They just know that, okay, the coverage have started from XYZ date, but they don't know the date of birth and all those things. There are many pieces of information missing. So still this is revamping. They are just trying to struggle through and trying to fix this. Still they are not there yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you will find, if you follow this, you will find lot of ups and downs with this Affordable Care Act. It will take time to settle it down.
Yeah. Okay. Now there are commercial ACOs like Walgreens, and there is CMS funded these ACOs also. Now, see, there are specific quality benchmarks that are focused on prevention and carefully managing patients and chronic diseases. And other words, providers get paid more for keeping their patients healthy, but this is only for the CMS financed affordable care organizations. The commercial organizations don't have like these quality benchmarks. They don't have to follow these.
Okay.
So this is like, you know, again, it is a result of political deliberations. So that is one thing. Now the doctors and hospitals will likely to refer hospitals, you know, this is like patient and payer objectives and missions are not aligned, because if the providers are part of an ACO that are required to alert their patients as per the law, to, who can choose and go to another provider, which is not exactly in line with the, provider objectives. So there is a little bit of a conflict of interest over here. Now, economical, I still have to finish, but I still have some points here. There's based on the premises, the way it is passed, there is a lot of potential for shared savings across the organizations, mainly because we are assuming that all the younger population, who is a lot healthier than the aging population, will contribute to the pool of healthcare costs, and bring the, they are not going to withdraw as much as the aging population from that cost. So that, basically lowering the cost is based on this premise.
Right.
The financial incentives to improve the quality of the care, like, if you keep your patients healthier, you get some incentives. If you give them the basic primary care and avoid further complications, you get some incentives. So that way also you can keep the costs down. Population based, this I still have to get into this actually.
Okay. So far so good. Move on.
Yeah. Now there are, if you want to go on with this, there are significant startup costs, like, health technology is there. There's, for any meaningful threshold of savings, the setup has to be complete across the country to have any meaningful savings out of this Affordable Care Act. So setup involves a lot of money, and that kind of rolls into the technical issues also, because the technical setup is economical as well as technical. So there again, but basically for the startup cost, you have to have a lot of money to set up the whole network the way it is supposed to work.
Okay.
So there have to be agreement between providers and payers in commercial, again here, Sushmita, ACOs, they sound so similar to HMOs, and it is very difficult to, for commercial ACOs to distinguish between the ACOs and HMOs. I mean, I've come up with a lot of documents, but convincingly explain it to somebody is a little bit challenge for me right now.
So tell me, what is the struggle point? The difference between ACO and the HMO? Is that what the struggle is?
Yeah, I will show you. I don't know where did I save that. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I saved a document also for that. You probably have all this, right? See, how is it different from HMO? I don't understand.
What is HMO?
Health management?
Okay, hold on. What is ACO? Let me ask that first.
Affordable Care or Accountable Care Organization.
Example?
Example, say companies where you would have the doctors and patients, they both are accountable for taking care of, the patients are accountable for taking care of, what did I do?
The total patient care management, something like that, right?
Yeah.
On the other hand, your HMO, see, all these things you learn as part of healthcare, okay? This is what we teach as part of the domain, but I'll give you the high level overview here. HMO is Health Maintenance Organization, which is affiliated from Center of Medicare and Medicaid. So all the Medicare and the Medicaid services which CMS provides are governed under HMO. So HMO is the agency which decides what will be covered, what will not be covered as part of the benefit of Medicare and the Medicaid services. That's what the difference is. So all the insurance companies, all the payers who are providing the Medicare and the Medicaid plan, all the services are governed under HMO. So HMO is the one who
Right.
is going to decide what plan can be what can be covered as part of Medicare Part A, Part B, Part C, or Part D. So there is a very detailed chapter we have as part of the healthcare,
Okay.
and that's what you learn as part of this.
Okay.
Okay, but on a high level, that's what the difference is.
Okay.
ACO is the organization. On the other hand, HMO have altogether different sets of rules and regulations to govern how
Okay.
the
That I didn't get into too many details of the rules. So maybe that way I would understand
yeah
probably. I don't know.
yeah possibly.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Now this is like, it's like new opportunity for small group of individuals in the market who were before not able to afford health insurance even if they wanted to. So at an affordable rate, they will be able to participate in the healthcare market. So there are no federal and monetary subsidies to select benefit structures, which can discourage enrollment. Difficulty in competing with medical plans to cover. Yeah, this dental benefits and all these things does it come here? I don't know. Because, there are some challenges as far as the dental coverage in this plan, because after 18, there is no dental coverage and things like that. So I just jotted down whatever came across as a bullet point basically. There is a general rise in the capital budget needs in order to set up this whole structure. The medical and Medicare reimbursement rates are dropping. Large integrated delivery networks. This I need to, do a little more work on this.
Okay.
Private physician groups are not able to sustain because the merging and acquisition is the huge activities are going on, which is competing for the CMS funding. So private physicians are finding it very difficult to sustain and be a part of this healthcare now.
So those are the challenges, right?
Yeah.
Those
So
are the challenges.
I should separate these into for and against, like challenges and benefits.
No, what you can do is you can color code it. That is the alternate way you can do it. Color code it means wherever you mark it as a blue star, that is a constraint. Anything you mark it as a let's say purple star, something like that. Those are the things which are towards the benefits of it. So in that way, in legend you can mention all the points which are in blue star are the concerns which needs to be explored further, or which are the points which are in purple are good enough, and those can be accepted directly. So those type of lessons you can create, but it's everyone have a own way. That's something.
Yeah, but if you have the benefits all together, a thought process will go better if I segregate that, I feel.
That's right. So it's depends that how you want to work in a grouping.
Yeah.
Again.
That is also true.
Yeah. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have fewer resources to, implement this program. That is another concern. Consumers demand lower pricing and increased competition. There's competitive pricing on exchanges. Now these exchanges, I have to learn a lot about this actually. I don't know.
Right.
But exchange is a very strong economic mention over here, I would say.
Exchange on a high level, exchange is nothing but what happens when you go to the mall. You have all sorts of brands available, right? So you have a variety to choose from. Similarly, healthcare exchange was launched in the similar concept. This has created a marketplace for the insurance plan. Insurance plan means if you as a small group, large group, or you as an individual consumer looking for the health insurance and looking to buy some kind of a health insurance coverage, you can go to their website, enter the details, and you will receive the quote. So you can buy it through that. So now you have all the companies selling off their products, their plan.
So it will be basically like an auto insurance that tells you we charge you less.
So that's why they call it as a marketplace.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, what are the levels over here? The platinum, gold, silver, and bronze level plans, and what are the differences? If somebody asked me that,
See,
right
platinum,
now I don't
it's
know.
just the level of benefit, nothing else. There is
Right.
no rule book.
Yeah.
What Aetna is selling as a gold could be altogether different set of benefit for Cigna what they are selling as a gold plan. So gold
Oh,
practically
really?
does
There is
not,
no.
sorry?
Oh, I thought there is a standardization for what is a platinum or what is
No, no,
a
no, no,
gold.
no. It's
No.
all
Oh,
different set of benefits. Always remember gold have the higher level of benefit. Okay, bronze
okay.
and silver have lower level of benefit. So it's just the level of benefit.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing else. Every gold plan could have a separate level of benefit. Every silver can have separate level of benefit by depending upon the pair, what they are selling off.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the levels are independent of each other, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Limited time periods of enrollment is kind of a detriment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you don't have people adding to your pool of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are tax credit available for premiums, so you know that is an incentive to go enroll in the healthcare plan.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sustainability models for healthcare, that I think I have to go a little more into detail. And this again is like, you know, defining appropriate compensation and training for sales force is a big challenge. So you have people working across the country doing this uniformly is a big challenge.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as far as,
So far so good.
okay. The social goals, why this is not moving. Okay. Social, this is an aging country that, you know, a lot of aging population needs more health care, and the providers and payers, since they have, like, you know, their interests are not aligned, they hold different views about the Affordable Health Care Act. That we discussed again in the political also. So I should frame it a little different in this area. There's no collaboration between providers and payers historically, which you want to accommodate, you know, this factor right now is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Now there are conflicting priorities between hospitals, primary care and specialty physicians, because with the primary care and the hospitals aligning, the specialty physicians stand to lose a bit, you know, here. So the priorities, they don't have, like, ideally the consumer health should be the priority for all three of these, but you know, since the economic and political interest conflict, it is like there are a lot of conflicts between the two parties.
Right.
So goal improvement patient care across the patient is a, you know, formidable goal. That's all I can say right now.
That's right.
Yeah, there is collective accountability, because when you are taking the preventive care and when you are, you know, not excluding the what do you call, pre-existing condition, you know, all inclusive coverage for all types of and all ages of patients, there is collective accountability for doing all this, definitely. Possible split in families. How do you cover that? Right, I couldn't find out, like, you know, when there are like single child, or you know, there are a lot of family situations where, you know, you don't know where to put the child and what, you know, on whose plan and things like that. So there is, and the way the social structure in this country is, there needs to be a clearer guidance on.
See, to do that, you need to understand really in detail that what exactly how the dependent care works.
Right.
That
Yeah.
is again part of the healthcare. But from the high level perspective, I can only say that your level of benefit have a very big impact considering what is your status, whether you are single parent, whether you are divorced, whether you are just a guardian of a child. So there are many more complications which you need to understand.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Now, there is centralized access to healthcare information is expected. That can go into, you know, a lot of, oh my God, what happened to the technical one? Oh. Do you have it in yours?
I
There's a
can
lot of technical.
check it. Just give me a
Okay.
second. Maybe you did not save it.
I don't think that would happen.
Because if you did not save, then
Because there is a lot I put in the technical side. A lot.
I'm just checking my
Yeah,
version.
yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of, yeah, I think I got it here. I don't know.
Maybe
There
it's
was a
just
lot
the
of,
blanks.
yeah, blank space. I don't know how it got in there,
Okay, that's
but a
okay.
lot of blank space.
Go on.
Okay, now that you know the way the consumer accesses any information, healthcare or not, has changed dramatically. So social networking and accessing the information has been a very technologically different landscape right now. So you need to have the access at your fingertips about the patient health record or the mobile health and doctor's record, and there is a better informed customers and patients, and they demand more efficiency. You cannot have your website not working properly or your website being slow, or that a lot of technological issues need to be
Right.
resolved in the new healthcare landscape. Now there is a lot of regional and national trends in real time. They need to be monitored. Better informed customers demand more efficiency and accuracy at a lower cost. So once you set up a technological infrastructure that is scalable and cost efficient, the healthcare monitoring cost should come down considerably doing this. Now there is initially you wouldn't know what Aetna is charging the doctor and all, but there is more trend towards the transparency of the data sharing for patients. So that also needs to be accommodated into the technology that is going to be set up for this new healthcare. There is in consumer care, delivery and operations, selling and marketplace healthcare is a product. So that's how you need to design your product, your website and everything. There is again you need to do the brand. I think this can go into economic crime and brand socialization in healthcare. There is a shift to preventative versus reactive care planning. So that also can go into the economic part probably.
Okay, so
Strong advocate community, strong. There is a lot of media interest in all this. So the websites and the whatever way the social media needs to be updated as soon as possible with whatever changes and whatever updates have to be done. So that is also a technological challenge that needs to be accounted for.
So tell me something. Does that can you consider that to be a part of social impact?
Yeah,
That can be classified as social impact as well,
yeah, definitely. I
right?
said
Because
that, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because all these things are gaining. These ACA is going to gain lot of. See, the way I'm talking considering this is not in place and we are planning to launch it. Okay, so my statement is going to in line with that aspect. So media will have lot of interest because public rely on media, and these days social networking have become a very popular way to communicate something, to provide some clarification and justification on any part of the world you are. You just
Yeah, yeah,
make a small statement and publish it on the social network. It
yeah.
just fly like a fire. So
Yeah,
then social media impact will be very high on this ACA because it is going to impact each and every American
yeah,
as well as the state, no matter where they live in.
yeah,
So this needs to go there as well. It has to be
yeah,
classified
there
there.
as well. Yes, definitely. Social media and this, definitely. Even this one, like differentiate product, exchange and non-exchange. This is, you have to be able to differentiate that economically, as well as the technology needs to distinguish these also when you are putting it out.
Right.
So this can go in both the places also.
Yes.
Defining media campaigns and measuring effectiveness. Yeah, again, this dental here, I don't know what to do with this, but this is a major issue as far as I am concerned.
Okay.
Where should it go? I don't know. All the dental things, I don't know where to go.
Shared saving might yield lower premium. It can go under the economical.
Yeah. I don't know what has happened here. I think I saved it in too many. See, there is no, this requires data sharing. This requires standardized electronic health record system, which does not exist right now. This is ability to measure quality outcomes. Limited data available on CMS and ACOs. No new benefit rules evoke need for savings. No annual limits and no out-of-pocket maximum. So that needs to change across. This was never a norm really. So, a lot of changes have to be done technologically to accommodate this. This is a major change as far as the plans go. Now, cross accumulation of requires new IT functions that do not exist today.
Okay.
Conversion of paper and film-based workflows to digital images. These are all technological challenges. Image exchange standards implemented in US
what is PHI?
Where?
The last line on the screen. Increased security need for PHI. Personal health information.
Yeah.
There is an act related by HIPAA which talks about personal health information protection. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, personal health information I knew, but I didn't know there was an act for that.
Yeah, there is an act for that. See, these are the things which gets discussed in very detail. Even though you are using it, you are part of this act. Okay. And I'll give you an example. When you go to the doctor office, the doctor office gives you a form that do you want to authorize someone who the physician can share and talk about your medical record.
Right.
That is the HIPAA form.
Right.
Where they are looking for the authorization, otherwise they are not going to talk about your medical history or medical details with anyone else. So there is many more acts associated with personal health information where HIPAA comes into the picture.
Right.
So all these topics are very detailed out in the healthcare class.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. The patient data consolidation, single archive of interoperability, driving a rate of return incentives with emerging advancements in healthcare technology trends. That is something I need to do a little more research again. Outdated technology transformations like policies and staffing strategies, and basically the whole landscape has changed. You need to revamp everything. So that is a technological challenge again. Now this is again another challenge. I feel that you have to do the ICD-10. There is a deadline this year for ICD-10 also. So you have to establish scalable technology solutions that will be working across the board, across the country, and ICD-10 is also taken care of. Is a big technology challenge.
Right.
And build versus buy decisions, that should go into economic also, right? I mean, you buy some off the shelf products instead of building it to your own specifications. That should go into economic.
Yeah, because you need to see how economic that would be if you build it or if you buy.
That will come into more into economic.
Right.
Economic.
Yeah.
Condensed development time frames is another challenge. You have to have a robust application developed in a very relatively short time frame. So that is another challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, cutting edge technologies are needed, but there is limited resources available. So you have to, train the new workforce who will be in line with the whatever demands are there as far as the new healthcare technology goes. So that is again an issue. Now everything here is like, the development will be consumer based. Focus will be, how the consumer is getting the information and how transparent it is, and still you have to protect the interest of the payer also.
Right.
So, to get the business needs drafted accordingly and getting the technology to do both the, to serve both the interest is another challenge. So, and high security and privacy requirements has always been a challenge no matter what. So, this is it for now.
So now you understood. So let me ask this. What exactly the challenging part when you was doing that?
Challenging part was actually trying to get a 360 view of the whole thing is a challenging part. Because when you're reading up the material, you get only one viewpoint. And putting the two together and making sense of it is a little bit I wouldn't say challenge, but you need to sit down and, process the material from different viewpoints and put it together to make sense for you.
So what was the most difficult part while doing this exercise?
I would say what was the most easy part was taking out the, the technology challenges was the easy part.
Because you understand some part of the technology, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, then what?
If I don't, then I have to try and talk in layman's language.
You have to, right?
Yes.
Now on the other hand, so that was the easy part you said. So what was the tough part?
Tough part is like, in the political and social, it is little bit difficult to distinguish between the political and social because the landscape here is so mixed.
That's right.
And
when you are
some
talking,
of it can also go into legislative, but writing it as legislative was a challenge for me. That's why I did not put it. Like, you have seen this happening live on TV, how things are going, but the legislative challenges are very difficult to put on paper for me.
Now coming back to your social and the political, okay? Political means think more from the government perspective. Different parties are objecting it, okay, how the government agenda means. On the other hand, when we talk about social, think about how people reaction would be, how media would react, how any geographical location will have an impact. So think more from the people perspective.
Yeah, I tried that. I mean, that's basically what I use, but there are still issues with that. For example, I would say that, if you watch the same news on, say, when you're talking about, say, example, media impact, right? If you watch the political news, what they mention on MSNBC is again a different standpoint from what they say on Fox News.
That's right. So that is...
So the political angle does not go away from anything. That's, I don't have a trouble with that, but I have trouble isolating that.
No, the thing is, your trouble is very much valid because there is no proper boundary between social and the political. Okay? One channel may be saying something which is the right thing, another channel may be conflicting it. Okay? And that is the social impact, means it is on the positive side as well as on the negative side, because same party have two different opinion on two different channels, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be one party opposing it and another party is in favor. So
even
there is no proper boundary you have. You cannot just sketch a line to say, okay, this side is the social and this side is the political.
Right.
When you are going to do the analysis, you are going to do the analysis as a overall. You are not going to just separate these out. The
Yeah.
separation is to simplify that what are the areas you should look into. The
Right.
separation
Right.
is to classify what are the areas you can have impact, which can badly, I would say good, that could have a good or the bad impact on the project.
Yeah.
So there is
Even
no
at,
boundary.
yeah. Even at individual level, if you want to see, like, you want to say social is like what people think.
Mm-hmm.
I know people personally who say that I don't need the government to tell me that I should take care of my health.
That's right.
I know them in person.
Mm-hmm.
So they say my health is none of anybody else's business.
Right.
But at the same time, there are people same people probably, who will get sick at, whatever 65, and they say I have my Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
So these contradictions are again, are difficult to account for.
No, so see, what you see, that's why you have the statistical data, right? The polling. In the sense that, okay, out of 100, 65% of the people are in favor, and rest are rest have maybe 10% have no opinion, and rest 25% are
Right.
opposing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where your statistical data comes into the picture.
Yeah, but do we have, what do you say, statistical data like this available at our disposal?
We don't have that great level of
Okay.
detail. We have it after it was launched.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can explore. You will find many more statistical data which are available. There are many agencies which have done. Not directly the data is available from the ACA perspective, but there are some rules and regulations under ACA where the statistical data is available.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are good with the pestle analysis, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it needs a little more polishing. I know that, but I mean, now that I discussed it with you, I feel a little more better about it.
So given the point you are working as a business analyst on the project, if the project is given for the analysis, you will be able to run the show. Right?
Yeah.
See, when I say run the show, doesn't mean you have to work alone. There will be
but
team who will be supporting you with the information, but you know how
the
to
information that comes from different people at different points of time, I feel that I should be able to put it together, comprehend it, and put it out in a logical way.
That's great. Bingo. So we are exactly on the right track, and we have some more assignments to review, like for the SWOT analysis and all those things, right? Which you will be presenting it.
Yeah.
So, okay, then that's it pretty much for this. And thank you. You have done an awesome and outstanding job.